Welcome to This Explainer. I am so excited to jump into this one today because we're exploring a completely fascinating, incredibly untapped resource for problem solving. We're going to look at the reality that your mind actually knows so much more than you consciously realize. And more importantly, we're going to see how busy leaders can actively access this hidden, deep intelligence, this quiet genius, just beneath the surface of our everyday awareness to solve some of their most complex, stubborn challenges. Okay, let's dive into this, because look, we all have those days, right? You're bogged down by insanely complex business challenges, stakeholder worries, you're literally pulled in a million different directions. We get so wrapped up in the sheer noise of our waking minds that we just hit a wall. We feel completely blocked. But what if the solution to your absolute biggest strategic bottleneck is actually already inside your head? What if it's being overseen by this quiet observer, just waiting for the noise to clear?
Your hidden deep intelligence, the quiet observer beneath daily thoughts.
Think of your mind kind of like an ocean, right? The surface is super choppy with all your daily operational stresses and to-do lists. But if you just drop down below that surface, it is profoundly calm. It houses this creative intelligence that is literally always processing. And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. Throughout history, some of our most significant breakthroughs, our most revolutionary ideas, they weren't discovered by someone sitting at a desk agonizing over spreadsheets. No way. They were actually discovered through dreams. By accessing this subconscious space, innovators have completely bypassed their mental blocks and tapped into profound ideas that their waking minds simply couldn't reach.
Now, what's really interesting about this next section, waking logic versus dream patterns, is why the dreaming mind sees exactly what we miss. So on one side, we have the waking mind. And don't get me wrong, it's incredibly useful for execution, for getting things done, but it relies heavily on limited linear logic. It gets so easily derailed by daily operational worries, and it really only thinks in straight lines. But the dreaming mind, it operates completely differently. It actually escapes that rigid business logic to see underlying patterns and massive systemic connections that logic completely entirely misses. It makes all these bizarre but brilliant new connections and explores boundless strategic possibilities that you would literally never even notice while you're awake.
Section 3. Setting the lucid question. Interacting directly with your inner intelligence. So, how do we actually practically use this to solve our complex business challenges? Well, when you become lucid inside a dream, you can interact directly with that deeper intelligence. It's like having a direct line. So here's your step-by-step approach right before you go to sleep. Step 1, bring a specific question very clearly into your mind. Maybe it's a huge strategic pivot or a really tough personnel decision. Step 2, gently ask for understanding. Remember, you aren't forcing an answer here, you are just inviting one. And step 3, let go. Just allow the dream to respond naturally. You prime the canvas of your mind and then you just step back. If you're looking for a specific prompt, try using this genuinely powerful mantra right before you drift off. Show me what I need to understand. I love this because it's absolutely brilliant for busy minds. It essentially delegates the problem to your subconscious. You're telling your deep intelligence exactly what you want, but you're leaving the how, the method, entirely up to it. You state the mandate and then you just let go completely. Let's move to section 4 and see how this builds into interpreting the subconscious response, basically how your deep intelligence communicates. Okay, so once you've asked the question and actually entered the lucid dream, the wonderfully surreal landscape of your own mind just completely takes over. Inside the lucid dream, your deeper intelligence responds, but often in super unexpected ways. For example, imagine a leader who's really struggling with a toxic team conflict. They might dream that they're trying to untangle this massive, impossibly complicated knot, only to suddenly realize that pulling one specific red string loosens the whole entire thing. That is a brilliant symbolic representation of the root dynamic at play. You might encounter symbols like that or have conversations with dream characters who speak with this almost piercing clarity. Or you might just find yourself in bizarre situations that absolutely perfectly mirror your organizational challenges. So the crucial point is that the subconscious mind does not deliver a white paper. It's not going to hand you a neatly formatted spreadsheet. It relies almost entirely on these deeply felt, non-verbal languages. It speaks to you through striking imagery, really raw emotion, sudden intuition, and just a profound sense of meaning that, frankly, your logical waking mind might initially miss altogether. In fact, sometimes the message arrives so quietly, so purely through feeling, that it completely bypasses spoken language. You may just suddenly understand a complex dynamic profoundly, without any words being exchanged at all. It's like that ultimate aha moment, right? A sudden click of pure knowing that just instantly dissolves all that heavy confusion you felt back at the office. Section 5, a conversation with yourself. Trusting your deeper mind. And this brilliantly illustrates a really key trap. When you first realize you were dreaming, the immediate temptation is to seize control of everything. But honestly, the absolute most powerful thing you can do is to simply observe, listen, and trust. Just let the dream unfold. And, just as importantly, you absolutely need a system to capture all this gold when you wake up. So keep a quick checklist right there by your bed. Before you even think about looking at your phone, grab a pen. Write down the dominant emotion, quickly sketch out any weird symbols, and jot down the core insight before your waking mind hits delete on the whole thing. What you're doing is capturing the exact answer your deeper mind already knew.
I really want to leave you with this thought to carry into your evening. When you close your eyes tonight and that imagery slowly starts to form, are your dreams really just random, meaningless stories? Or are they a profound leadership consultation with yourself? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it helps you tap into your own hidden intelligence tonight.